Everyone, welcome to Code One. In the last video, you have seen how can we write the video, how can we write the records into our Excel file by using Java code. And this is we are doing for automation Selenium automation with Selenium. So Selenium is like we use for interact with web elements to connect with it to communicate with the browser, but when we work with data-driven framework, we must have to communicate with Excel sheet to write and read the data. So to perform this task, we are using Java, and by using Java simple programming POI library, we can perform this task. So in the last video, we have seen how can we create the Excel file, how can we create and store the value in a different format. Now in this tutorial, we are going to see how can we read this data. Okay. So again, I'm moving to my clips and I'm removing this old code. And if you didn't watch the previous video, I will link in a video. I will link in the description. Just check that video. So now our task is to read the data from XLSX. Okay. Now the very first thing, I need to get the path of this file. So same thing, to get the path, I'm going to create a string path equals to, we need to get the path of this folder in this file. So first let me get a dynamic path. So in Java, to get the dynamic path, we can get system.get property, and here we can pass a parameter user.dir. that this will give me a path of this folder. Okay, this Java Selenium. And then I have to concatenate a path equals to path plus, I can say plus folder name. So what is my folder name? My folder name is data source. So I can say data source, and here the file name is user data.xlx, right? So now my path is ready, and something is went wrong. Okay, this is capital P, so I have to make it small p. Yeah, now my path is ready. Now how can I access the path? So let's create an object of file here. File from Java.io. File equals to new file. Okay, and this will take a path. So it will create a connection with this file, and then this time we are going to read the data, and it means we are going to create an input stream. Okay, so file input stream FIS equals to new file input stream, and this will take a file. Okay, now we have created a connection with this file. So to handle the rows and columns, we are going to use the POI library. Make sure if you are not following the previous video and you are directly jump into this, so make sure you are adding this POI library dependency in your pom.xml, so it will allow you to access the workbook. Okay, so here what I need to do, I need to create a workbook object. Workbook equals to new SXSSF workbook, I can say, yeah, this one. And this will take input stream as a FIS. If I go here and check what is taking, I can pass FIS here, and I guess this is XSS. Okay, the correct name is XSSF workbook, and it will take a file input as a stream. File input stream as a input. Now if you notice, we have connected with this file, right, by passing the path, but there can be a multiple seeds. Okay, seed 1, seed 2. So on which seed we want to connect? We want to connect with the demo seed. Okay, so just copy this name and let's get this seed. So workbook.get seed method is there that will return the seed. We are passing the seed name here, and it will return a seed. So we can say seed, right? Now in this seed, it will return rows and columns. So we can say cell. So seed dot, let's say seed dot row. Okay, seed dot get row, I guess. Yeah, 0. So we are passing zeroth index means first let's read the data of this in this cell, the user one. We need to read this user one. Okay, so how can I do that? So if you notice, this is the row one and column one. So in it will the index will start from 0, so we will consider it as 0 as a row and 0 as a column. So I'm calling a seat get row as a 0 and it will return a row, so I can store into a row. Now in this row, the first column I need, I mean first cell I need, so row dot get cell, and I pass the 0th index again, so it will again return me a cell, right? So let's store into a cell. Now let's say I want to read the data of this cell, so I can say cell dot get string cell value. Okay, I'm clearing my console and let's run this and check this is printing or not. So we want to print this user one. We are accessing the first cell, 0th index for row, 0th index for column. I just right click, run this my main method, and it's running and see it's showing me a user one. Okay, now let's say we don't want to in specific index and we want to total count of rows and get total row count, how many rows are there into seats. So how can you do that? So for that we have, let's say integer row count. I want to store it into a variable, and we have a seed dot get last row number. It means it will come here and check 0 1 2 3 4 and this 5. So let's print this sys out. Okay, not this one, it should be sys out and total row count equals to row count, right? Let's run it again and check first the total row count is 4. So we can say it's starting from 0th index, so it means 0 1 2 3 4. So if you want to print the exact one, we can do a +1, so it will display now 5. So now it's showing 41. Okay, it's concatenating this, so we have to do like this. Yeah, fine. Similarly, if you want to read the data total column count, get total column count, how can we do that? The column is available into the cell, so what I can say, int col count equals to cell dot get last cell dot get. We should have a method here, numerical value, which row, no, not this one. Okay, so let's say we are assuming in the first row we have a maximum column, right? So we can say row dot get last number cell, last cell number, so it will return me total count of column. So let's print it, sys out total column count equals to this. Now we have a column only one, so let's do this. So as showing me total column count is a 1. Let's say I want to add more column, I add 1 2 3. Okay, so 0 1 2 3, this time output should be 3. Let's run it. I just refresh, I have just make changes in my Excel manually, and now if you see it's showing me 4. Okay, let's count again, 1 2 3 4. Okay, the cell 1 is not a starting 0, it's a starting from 1 and returning total count of the row. Next thing, let's say I want to read the data in a loop. So I want to read the data of this specific column, the complete column. So how can I do that? So for that I can use a loops. Okay, let's say we'll keep a for loop here that will start integer I from 0. Let's say read bulk data. Okay, we can say it read bulk data, and for that I'm starting a loop, integer I 0, and then I is less than row count, means these are the rows. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5. So until it will iterate the data until this row will be there, and then I plus plus. Okay, here my cell always will be 0, but row will be changed. So I'm going to copy this and I'm going to change my row index as a I. So in a first iteration, it will read the data of 0th row, then first row, second row, third row, fourth row. But in every case, the cell will be 0 only. So I just keep the cell as a 0. Okay. And then we can say here, sysout cell dot get string cell value. There are many methods in this, like we can read the formulas, we can manipulate the Excel in any form by using POI library. If you get chance, go to the Google and learn about it. You will get more content about this. So you see here, we are getting the data user 1, 2, 3, 4. The complete data is there we have. Okay, but 5 is not there. So row count. Okay, we have to do equals to, because we are already starting it from 0. So this time it will read the complete data, so the 5. Now let's say you want to read the column data, not a row data. What can we do? The simple logic you have to perform here. In that case, the row will be constant. Okay, so I'm just changing it as a comment, and now this time it will be 0 only, but cell always will be changed as a I until it will reach to the column count, right? Column count. And let's run this and read what we are going to see here. See, we are getting this column data. Okay, but we have some cell as a null pointer exception, means let's do it 0. Yeah, this output is clear, and it's showing user 1, fdgd, fdgdf, and gd. Okay, so these data is printed. So in this way you can read the data. Already you have seen the how can we write the data. So the very basic steps, first you have to communicate create a connection with this file. First you have to read the path of the file, where the file is located. Then you have to find create an input stream. Then you have to set up your workbook, and then you can manipulate the rows and column according to your requirement. Okay, in reverse order, to write the data, what we need to do, first we need to prepare our data, then we have to prepare your Excel sheet workbook, and then we can create output stream, and then we can write the data over there. So thank you so much for watching. If you like the video from Code One, please subscribe the channel for more automation related video, and I will try to cover in some video like how can we read this data and write the data and use into our Selenium automation framework. So just be in touch. Thank you.